watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access. Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Hello and welcome to Business Access Television's coverage of the Business Breakfast for the upcoming publication of the Business Year 2019, the Jamaica issue. I'm Keneal Gale. We are here at the Hard Rock Cafe in Montego Bay, where business leaders and the movers and shakers from the Second City are gathered. So let's go inside, mingle a bit, and then hit the stage.
So we are delighted to have you to participate and share in our second edition of the Business Year Breakfast in Mobay. So that many of you, we know, have traveled long distances to be here, and it serves as a reminder to us all just how important our work is. So as a natural lover and a big traveler, I truly think that Jamaica is one of the most beautiful places in the world. And what I can say is that I am proud to live, experience, and work in Jamaica, and I promised to myself that I would portray Jamaica as best as it deserves, and foremost to showcase to the world what is the special island has to offer. So on behalf of the business year, I sincerely thank and acknowledge every one of you extended help to us for making this event a grand success. So first of all, Hard Rock Cafe. So Andrea Dixon, thank you. Mr. Fausto Solano, our esteemed partner, Mrs. Diane Edwards from Jampro, and the overall team, a Jampro team that supported us since the very beginning, since 2017 when we arrived. And thanks to the help and their support, we are here in Jamaica and we can conduct our research. I also sincerely thank Mayor Omer Davis of Montego Bay, Mr. Douglas K. Gordon, founder of Canex, Mr. Watson Lawson, the president of Chamber as well, Mrs. Caroline Fisher, Mrs. Tishura Gibbs, Mr. Robin Russell, general manager of Deja Resorts, Mr. Juan Manuel Merilla, my country editor. So thank you for all of you for your support since the beginning. Sorry. And you, my dear guests, leaders of the country that are leading not only Montego Bay, but Jamaica to the future, I thank you and welcome you. So we stand for bringing Jamaicans together and making Jamaica a better place, a more unified and a more connected place. So most of us already know who we are and our role. However, for the new faces today, let me tell you what TBY is. So TBY is a global media group specialized in economic news and research on national economies and business intelligence. So we have operations in over 35 countries. Our head office is based in London. We have regional offices in Istanbul, in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Mexico City. And we have a strong presence already in Latin America. So the way we carry out our research is that we meet face-to-face with the community of leaders, and we stay for an average of 6-8 months in the country to meet with the most strategic leaders and most prominent figures of the country from the main and most important companies, as well as the governmental officials from the public sector. So over 70% of our publication consists of interviews, so that we provide the most accurate and up-to-date perspectives from the experts themselves. So as some of you know, the business year arrived in 2017 for the first time in Jamaica. And we have been invited by the Jamaican Promotion Corporation to compile a comprehensive research on the economy of Jamaica, combining our international expertise with their local experience. So following the success of the first edition of the Business Year Jamaica, we just renewed the MOU with Jampro to continue our research and compile the second editions on Jamaican's economy. So our final goal is to create an annual publication about the economy of the country. Thus, our unique platform represents a who's who of the decision makers of the country. And the publication recirculates locally, in the region, but also abroad. On the businessyear.com as well, and since 2018, we have a partnership with Thomson Reuters Icon, Bloomberg Terminal, and Dungeons Factiva. So today, we are all together because we need your full cooperation and support to truly reach the stage where we can have prosperity for all. So we know that Jamaicans, people want to tell stories that are wrapped in their own textures, language, and humanity. So we are here to use our platform to change the global perception and narrative surrounding Jamaica to truly reflect the economic potential of the city and the island, and further highlight the vibrant and dynamic local leaders, such as yourself, that are moving Jamaica forward.
I am very happy to be here this morning on behalf of the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce, because this breakfast launch is for us another opportunity to carry out what we believe is one of our natural duties, indeed obligations, as a chamber, that being support and aggressive marketing of this space that's otherwise known as the tourism capital of Jamaica. We recognize this is another grand opportunity, not just because what you will learn or have learned about the reach and the capabilities of the TBY, but this is a place where we have been before. That is to say, only last year the Chamber connected with TBY, and the results commencing with the showcasing at the Jamaica Investment Forum last year spoke volumes. In fact, yes, as Aska said, they officially launched their first publication, the TBY Jamaica, at the forum in partnership with JAMPRO. So let me also recognize the TBY for one, the interest it has taken in Jamaica and the excellent way in which it had delivered on marketing this space and all the great products and services available. You know, I will admit, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm also very happy for the opportunity this morning for selfish reasons. Yes, selfish reasons. Because I've recognized that this partnership, this renewed connection, sits very well with three overarching strategic initiatives for my administration. Indeed, the 10-point strategic plan for which this administration was mandated to execute on are all within the areas, namely member centricity, modernization, and advocacy. Member centricity, here we want to zero in directly on our membership, on how we can facilitate direct benefits. We had and we still have in mind the sweet deal access, which we are now referring to as the member-to-member discount program. And I encourage all our members to sign on and don't be left out of this pool. We are seeing to the delivery of worthwhile, cost-effective training programs to benefit the members and their staff. This, we know, will have direct benefits in sharpening a critical asset for most, if not all, businesses. And I'm referring to human resources. And I want to recognize Dollar Financial for the sponsorship of our first training program. We expect to arrange a second one in November with a focus on digital marketing And again, we encourage our members to use the opportunity provided by the Chamber. Member centricity is also about improving networking opportunities and improved flow and regularity of communications amongst our members. That's also being done through our monthly meetings, which we have also now added a new twist of getting these away from the Chamber office facilities, but to different venues across this wonderful city. Hello, Pier 1. The TBY Jamaica connection gels with this mandate of member centricity, as what is top of mind for us is our membership being able to reap the benefits. Those who decide to utilize the services of TBY, they should reap the benefits from the tremendous reach and capabilities for which TBY Jamaica offers.
We take our first break here on Business Access Television's coverage of the launch of the business year. We are in Montego Bay, and when we come back, we will hear from the mayor of Montego Bay, Homer Davis.
Business Advisory. Realize greater growth and profitability. Navigating market changes can be challenging for any business. Our goal is to help you identify opportunities at any stage of your financial life cycle, ensuring you continue to meet your business needs in complex market environments. From startup through to expansion, tax advisory to accounting, Dodge & Global provides a multidisciplinary approach to managing the entirety of your affairs. We ensure your business remains profitable and competitive. You can expect practical advice, effective cost management, and a mutual respect for your goals and growth aspirations. Our commercial advice comes from extensive knowledge and experience working with a broad range of business and industry sectors. Dodge & Global can help you make smarter, more effective decisions. Let's have a conversation. Contact us at email info@dodgen.global. Website https://dodgen.global.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life, delighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life turns art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film. Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
Welcome back to Business Access Television's coverage of the launch of the 2019 Business Year publication, where Jamaica will be getting another solo issue. We will now hear from Montego Bay's Mayor, Councillor Homer Davis. Let's go to the stage.
Montego Bay, our little city, our friendly city, our beautiful city, carries the title. And it's not something from my imagination. It is something that has been recognized, that we are the fastest growing city in the Caribbean. And for that, you, the members of the business community, you, the members of the Chamber of Commerce, and those who are involved in tourism, ought to give yourself a round of applause for that. Hadn't it been for you to take a risk, investment is a risk, then we would not be seeing what we're now seeing in Montego Bay as it relates to development. So, Montego Bay, the status as it is now, is due largely to work being done in marketing Jamaica as the best place for almost everything. I could say tourism, I could say BPO industry. I could say other investments, tourism-related entities. But what stands out is that Montego Bay is the preferred location. And it is a preferred location because I tell people that Montego Bay is an hospitality area. We have learned to welcome people. It doesn't matter where they are. As a matter of fact, my friend there said when he's in Montego Bay, he feels more welcome. He feels as if he's a part of a community. There's an intimacy with Montego Bay, and that is why Montego Bay is really the preferred location. You've been here for 2 weeks, you're no more stranger. You know just about everybody. You know about just all the eatery, all the drinking spots, all the place to be. And that is a good thing with Montego Bay. So we enjoying what we're now enjoying. It's not an accident. It is a culture. It is a culture that I've developed over the years. Because I came here 40 years ago, and that was the culture where the people of Montego Bay embraces their visitors, whether they are local, they are foreigners. They embrace you. And that is the thing with Montego Bay.
I'd like to start by commending TBY and the JAMPRO team for the initiative to launch the publication last year and the push for a second year. As the mayor said, Montego Bay has been consistently one of the fastest growing economies in the English-speaking Caribbean, and it's important that that be highlighted and presented on a platform that will spur further investment into our future. Last year, I was very active in supporting the business year's objectives because we saw it as an opportunity to highlight some of our companies and entrepreneurs, as well as to promote business in the city. And I would like to say thank you to the TBY team for accepting my proposal last year to ensure that Montego Bay had a special focus in the publication. It would be remiss of me not to also mention that I'm especially grateful for the special attention the city received at the launch of the event at the Jamaica Investment Forum in June of this year. Wearing the hat of I Love Mo Bay, I am delighted that the business year will now be giving internship opportunities to our youth to allow them to work on a publication of this caliber, reaching a global audience. Business leaders, I implore you this year to facilitate the team from TBY. Ensure your businesses are represented in the publication and your industries are highlighted. I Love Mo Bay congratulates the business year once again. We wish for you much success with the 2019 publication.
What was your major takeaway from the presentations this morning?
Well, the fact that we're covering Jamaica again for this year. We did last year, and it was good highlight, good focus, and we know that there's a laser focus kind of interest now on Jamaica. We have done very well in the Doing Business report, in the Global Competitiveness Index, and so this, will take us further in positioning and presenting Jamaica as a great place for investments.
So what are some of the opportunities do you see for your industry in particular from a publication such as this?
Well, as you know, we're in the global services business. So our interest is customers looking to do business with existing providers, new entrepreneurs, new businesses in Jamaica. So anything that promotes the capabilities of Jamaica, that highlights the growth and development and the complementary businesses that support global services is good for our industry.
In your presentation, you spoke about the importance of a magazine and publication such as this to Jamaica and to Montego Bay. How will you be ensuring or encouraging your members to try to leverage this type of exposure?
Yeah, well, look, we as a chamber, we always understand the power of marketing, the power of getting your message out. You could have the very best product. You could have, it's the best thing since sliced bread. But if you're not getting your message out to the marketplace, it really means nothing. So we encourage and we will encourage our members to jump on this opportunity. It's, as I had said earlier this morning, that it's a place where we have been before because we did it last year. It was highly successful. You have seen the product. There are also one day World Wide Web. You can view it there, and they have the capacity to get your message out globally. We encourage our members to look at it and to see how well they can exploit the opportunity.
Taking the pain out of the audit preparation. Doggin Global now offers audit management services, AMS. With AMS, Doggin Global team manages your external audit process by providing the following. 1. Prepare and review schedules for your external auditors. 2. Prepare responses to your external audit team queries. 3. Assign our team members to locate supporting documents during field work. 4. Draft financial statements in accordance with IFRS to supply to your external auditors. 5. Provide guidance to your internal accounting staff regarding classification and recording of transactions. 6. Review your general ledger for accuracy. 7. Prepare necessary journal entries. 8. Prepare fixed asset register. 9. Prepare accounting and operational manual for effective internal control. 10. Liaise with the company external auditors. We work with your team to achieve timely and effective external audits, resulting in timely completion of your audited financial statement, while your current staff focuses on their daily activities. Contact us, info@doggin.global, website doggin.global.
It's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, free eye test. It's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, it's Island Hour, free eye test. Free eye testing is back and it's here to stay. Island Eyewear offers free eye testing every day, all day at all locations island-wide. Conditions apply. Make your appointment today at www.islandeyewear.com or call us 630-1180. Island Eyewear, your style, your price. It's Island Hour, free eye test.
From this type of publication, this type of exposure, what are some of the industries that you would want to see attracted to Montego Bay from these investors?
Well, Montego Bay is known for tourism, the BPO industry, that one is growing, farming, which I think we have a very good opportunity for not Montego Bay, but for St. James, especially the southern section of St. James where the farming lands are located. Because we have a service industry, and a great part of that service industry and this hotel industry is that the visitors who come here, they eat and they drink. I am not sure, or I could say that I don't think that we are really taking full advantage of the supply chain.
So you're saying that there's a lot of untapped potential there?
I think so. I know so. Because from time to time you will hear things. Hotels have to be bringing in this type of agricultural produce, this type of agricultural produce. But with what I've been hearing from Minister Shaw, who is the agricultural minister, and J.C. Hutchinson, it tells me that there's a thinking now taking place that our farmers need to understand that farming is a business. And if you're running a business, it has to be run efficiently, effectively, And it runs in a way in which you can make profit and you can sustain and maintain your family and your life.
Tell us a little bit about SolarBuzz.
Well, SolarBuzz is a energy company focusing on renewable energy. So we install mostly solar projects for residential and commercial clients. We also do a lot of glass glazing and tinting to help reduce heat loads coming into properties to also reduce their energy consumption.
How do you see a company like yours and other similar companies benefiting from Jamaica getting another issue of the business year?
I think that anytime a publication like the Business Year focuses on Jamaica, they're so prominent that it shows us in a very good light worldwide, and business people around the world see Jamaica as a viable investment. So I think it's a tremendous opportunity, and I think we should be very grateful to have them focus on our island.
What kind of investment do you see, or potential investors do you see being attracted by this publication in terms of to come and invest in Jamaica?
Well, I mean, I think we'll continue to see the BPO market grow. I definitely see the energy sector, which I'm focused in, growing. I mean, when I read through the last publication, there was just so many different opportunities that I think that we're going to get a variety of investors looking on the island and just seeing a tremendous amount of opportunities. Even when I read through it, I was getting ideas in other sectors that I'd love to be a part of, but you just can't do everything. So.
Are there also opportunities for future collaboration between local companies and overseas companies?
Oh, definitely. I mean, we collaborate with overseas companies all the time. So, you have to understand your expertise and where you are in your business cycle. When SolarBuzz was just starting out, I knew that I needed some guidance. So I partnered with bigger companies than myself from overseas, and I cut them in on the deal, and they helped to train us and bring us up to standard of international standards where we are now. So yes, strategic partnerships are a great opportunity to grow and become viable on your own.
Tell us a little bit about what are some of the expectations for the 2019 Jamaica publication?
So our expectation is to portray the economy of Jamaica and meet face-to-face with the community of leaders and investors of Kingston, Montego Bay and the whole part of the island, in order to highlight the business opportunities, but also highlight the economic trends of the country. And our final goal, is to create an annual publication about the economy of Jamaica, and as well as attracting and boosting the economy of Jamaica, but attracting as well foreign direct investment in the country.
For those who aren't familiar with the publication, tell us a little bit about your audience and other publications, other countries that you've done publications for.
Okay, so thank you. Very good question. So actually our readers are investors, our leaders. So all the publication is read by general managers, CEOs, and all the community of leaders from the private and public segments, the main important companies as well as governmental officials, ministers and prime ministers, leaders of the country. And we reach out 9,350 readers in Jamaica and 88,000 readers internationally, as well as we distribute the publication online on thebusinessyear.com. And since 2008, which is a breakthrough in the history of the business year, is that now we have a partnership with Thomson Reuters Icon, Bloomberg Terminal, and Dow Jones Factiva.
How much of a big deal is this for Jamaica, the Jamaican economy, and businesses in Jamaica?
So it's a great way to give the voice of Jamaicans himself and experts himself, and showcase the strengths and the opportunities of Jamaica and the business opportunities in the international scene.
And that's how we end our coverage of the Business Breakfast for the publication of the Business Year's 2019 Jamaica issue. We hope you enjoyed our coverage. I'm Keneal Gale. Pleasant viewing.
We are serious about the business of real estate, so catch Home Sweet Home Sundays at 4:30 p.m. or if you missed it, check our website at batvja.com.
Everybody wanna feel like free. Forget your troubles and rock with me.
Clarendon had more to offer from the little ones at the Roswell Primary School.
I am very well. I'm very well. Thank you. Good morning, teachers.
Help me big up Jamaica, the land of food and water. The system might not papa, but the value of the food and the culture.
But just before our visit ended, the students were encouraged to participate in the annual Jais Heritage Competition.
Imagine that you are one of the 7 national heroes, right? It says that you are to make your case for Jamaica to be compensated for slavery.
Sidebar, applications are now closed, and the team back in office are busy judging the many submissions from bright primary, secondary, and tertiary students. Back to the Roswell crew. St. Anne also had more than enough excitement and cultural offerings for us. First up, Prairie Primary and Infant School. And it was obvious that our presence and gift were much appreciated.
I learned a lot from this day, and I would like to thank you very much.
Wait, we're not quite finished with St. Anne yet. And as customary, we gave them a piece of our heritage, right from the Jais Publications Department. Our Heritage School tour then took us to the Bread Basket Parish. Here's what Aberdeen High School had planned for us.
Please, give it up for the conscience group. Look here, are really conscience enough? You know, sister, too much you complicate me and then away your conscience. My youth has to make up your heart. You are kill with me idea, you are kill them after that.
Our taste buds were also satisfied with some traditional Jamaican foods, and we traveled back in time to experience some old but efficient practices. Time flies when you're having fun, but we couldn't let it fly away without experiencing more of what this parish has to offer. The tour was winding down, but not without a bang. Portland was next, and the students of Windsor Castle Primary and Infant School served up an enticing treat, and of course, we followed suit.
Welcome to Windsor Castle Primary and Infant School. You're watching Jamaican Magazine. Woo! Lion Gateway! Lion Gateway the circus that night. And you don't have nobody. And nobody know dead with fright. What a magic! What a mystery! Circus Lion
And after that rich display of culture,
Mrs. Verlaine and all the students and staff of Windsor Castle Primary, we want to hand over this package to you of some of our posters and books, information that we have on the Jamaican history and Jamaican culture.
And that's all we have for you from this year's JIS Heritage School Tour. Watch out for us again next year when we do this all again. Who knows, your school might just be on our list.
Nutritious food, succulent dishes, superior workmanship, and excellent service. Jamaica is on the go. Let's grow what we eat and eat what we grow. Let's harness the indomitable spirit of our most valued resource, our people. Let's support our local businesses. After all, buying Jamaican means building Jamaica.
Original.
Jamaica and China have partnered in the area of sports to provide training for athletes and coaches in various disciplines. Our team was in China recently to see what's been unfolding.
The Jamaica-China Technical Cooperation Program is the largest bilateral sports agreement between the two countries. For each year of the 3-year China-funded program, 138 Jamaican athletes, managers, and coaches from 7 sporting disciplines traveled to China for 2 months of intensive training.
So we have 3 teams in Yunnan province, that's in Kunming. Those are swimming, female basketball and female volleyball. In Yunnan province, we have synchronized swimming, gymnastics, badminton and female football.
One of the first stops that we made in China was to the Kunming Physical Training School, where we observed the volleyball, basketball and swimming teams in training.
They train twice per day, starting at, the day actually starts at 6 when they have breakfast. We arrive at the center by 8:30, where we do a 30-minute warm-up. They hit the pool by 9 o'clock. Training is normally completed by 11 once the sets are completed, and then we return to the hotel. They have lunch. There's a 1.5-hour nap time, and then we come back in the afternoon at 2:30, another half-an-hour session of warm-up, and then we go again at 3 until 5.
They take the training very serious, and we also see they have the many improvements during all the training. But for one thing, that's the coach very appreciates that they follow coach instruction, and they try their best to get more improvement.
As you may know, China is ranked amongst the top 5. They have one of the top 5 best volleyball teams in the world. So coming here to train, we're training amongst the greats.
While here, we do a lot of repetition, and it really helps us getting better performance-wise. Where we're weak in terms of our strength, the gym work really helps, and when we go on court, it shows. So we're able to hit the bar harder, able to jump higher, just perform better.
They're really positive and they're serious with this training, and they like to learn.
The coach, he uses gestures while he speaks to us. So as volleyballers, we understand those gestures, and those who came last year will understand a little of the Chinese, like counting from 1 to 4, we understand that, and other little things.
Shababa means it's a very delicious food from where he comes from, the Yunnan province. And he said that after people eat it, they get very energized. And so we say it because we want to get energized on court so that we can perform our best. We usually say it before, like when we're cheering before our match or when we win a point.
The basketball team was only a few meters away from the volleyball players. The team's training site, Kunming Physical Training School, is a high-altitude training base that pushes the cardiovascular and circulatory systems of athletes to optimal levels.
Breathing, like it's really hard here because of the altitude difference. So you know, the higher we go, less oxygen there is or air. So when we go on track or even in here indoors when we're running, it's really hard to catch our breath or to even breathe normally. Some people, we have I think 4 athletes that have asthma, so it's extra hard for them, but they manage. In 2 weeks or 3 weeks, everyone adjusts and we're okay.
And on Monday, we do a little bit of skill training and core exercise after the skill training. The core exercise is abs basically to improve your strength, jumping, running, all of those assets. The biggest improvement is the fitness level and the skills. Dribbling the ball, floor spacing, setting pick, setting off the ball screen, and just learning to play as a team.
And there are even more benefits to be derived from the athletes' daily encounter with their Chinese coaches.
They're very disciplined. They teach us life skills about respecting time, all of those things. They're very disciplined, and it's good training, life skills for us.
Wait until you hear about the other athletes we're visiting in the city of Changsha.
Being here has really been an amazing opportunity. Working with the Chinese coaches, they've really been helping us learn new techniques, and it's been really new. Some of their techniques are different, but I realized that they really do help the girls improve.
The girls that I have here is from age 6 to 13. Elisa is my youngest. Her name is Elisa Alexander Black. She came up here, she's very strong, but she gets in stronger. So if you like put her into a press and stand, she can stay up into a press and stand as long as about for 1 minute and go back down, but she's very strong for her age.
Like Elisa, another gymnast that has grown in strength and performance is young Shakoy Bennett, the only male gymnast on the team this year.
I've gotten some skills, that some high-level skills that I would need to be able to put in a routine to be able to compete. So yeah, that's, I would say, is one of the biggest achievements I have so far. My objective is to go to the Olympics, possibly the Olympics and the World Champs, possibly medaling.
But training wasn't the only activity on the gymnast's daily agenda. The team also showcased the dynamic dance routines they have been learning. Their performance was well received.
Hi, I'm Kayla, the captain of the female football team here in China. Ni hao. In terms of the training, some of the things that we do here you don't really see in Jamaica, so you pick up a lot of new things that you can bring back home and teach your teammates, your coaches, your friends. Every drill that they do right here, they focus on defending. They put in both attacking and defending. So if you look at them playing right now, how they set out, the coach incorporate all of those stuff in it. In Jamaica we do drills like this, but you don't really think there are so many drills, but like this one thing until you come here.
This is an awesome initiative, and I think that it can only be better for the nation, for the girls to come to a place like China to enhance their talents. I believe that the girls want to be that next reggae international girl, and so this year it has really pushed the girls to work even harder, and you can see in training where they are constantly reminding each other to stay focused.
So there's only one more team to visit, and this team happens to be the largest group in the delegation. Can you guess what that is? Badminton.
Our delegation consisted of 28 persons, of which 23 junior players, 1 player coach, a liaison officer, and myself, the team manager.
Well, last year we mainly focused on the physical aspect on our body, and this year we mainly focused on the technical aspect and the tactical, which meaning that we focus mostly on the fingers, the arm actions. And in Jamaica we play European style of badminton, while here we play Asian style of badminton.
Biggest thing that surprised me was probably their playing style. When I was in Jamaica, we're taught to use the wrist more, and then now we're taught to use the fingers to play. And it has really helped in my game, play much easier and more comfortable now.
It would be remiss of me not to extend on behalf of the
government and people of Jamaica, and especially on behalf of my minister, the Honorable Olivia Grange, the appreciation or gratitude to the government and people of the People's Republic of China for this wonderful program.
As we close today's show, we ask that you stay connected via our website, jis.gov.jm. And while you're online, send your feedback to Jamaica Magazine at jis.gov.jm or via tweet at JIS News. On behalf of the entire production team, I'm Adrian Atkinson. Do take care.
This has been a production of the Jamaica Information Service, the voice of Jamaica.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
I'm Butch Hendrickson. You're watching BATV, serious about business.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Welcome to another corporate events coverage, and this time around, BATV is on location at the Bank of Jamaica Auditorium, ready to bring you highlights from day one of the two-day conference dubbed A Call to Action, Driving Financial Inclusion with Digital Payments. I'm Javon Keys, and I'll be your host. Stay with us.
The DBJ is really proud to be associated with this event, with a focus that we have on driving the economy by looking at the role that we all have to play in championing Jamaica through each of our line of businesses, each sector, and each person. It is indeed appropriate, I think, that the theme of this conference is a call to action. Each representative in this room was not invited by coincidence. It was by assessing the vision that as to where we are, where we need to be, and who are the instrumental players needed to help us in this journey. And so it makes sense that the DBJ and the Bank of Jamaica would collaborate in this area. The DBJ, as most of you probably know, is mandated to provide opportunities for all Jamaicans, regardless of their social status, to improve the quality of their lives through developmental financing. The Bank of Jamaica is responsible for creating and managing the monetary policy that affects every Jamaican and every financial institution in the country. Therefore, coming together to hold a conference on financial inclusion and digital payments we see as a logical development of our relationship with the BOJ. But why is financial inclusion so important and digital payments that it merits a two-day conference? I believe it is important because when you look at the world's poor, including many Jamaicans, they live and work in what is known as the informal economy. Yet even though they have very little money, they still manage to save, borrow, and meet their day-to-day expenses. However, without access to the formal financial system that allows savings account, debit card, insurances, lines of credit, they rely instead on informal means of managing money. And these include, as we all know, family, friends, cash on hand, pawnbrokers, money lenders, or simply keeping it under the mattress. But as we all know, these choices are almost always inefficient, risky, and expensive. And therefore we encourage those who are regarded as the unbanked to become a part of the formal financial system, as it will provide benefits to the individual as well as on a national level. Simply put, we become part of something that is so much bigger. My presentation this morning focused on financial inclusion, which really, and in particular, how do we get that significant section of our economy that is unbanked into the formal financial system. A significant part of our economy, of the persons who contribute to our economy, are still in the informal sector. We need to get them into the formal sector so they can access the benefits that would come with being a part of the formal financial system. So our role really is to encourage them, to educate them, to show them the benefits that can be derived from being a part of the formal sector. And in so doing, utilize the payment mechanisms that is going to be discussed here today. For example, the whole matter of mobile payments, digital payments, and other benefits that they would derive from coming into the formal financial system.
We are convinced that through this conference we can begin to build awareness and continue the conversation about the issues and challenges that must be resolved as we strive to develop and provide payment products and services to satisfy the needs of the average Jamaican consumer. We also see the need for tailored financial literacy programs that are integral to Jamaica's transition to the status of a digital economy. Over the next 2 days, we will engage in vibrant discussions on how innovations in electronic retail payments can impact Jamaica's development and how regulation can foster innovation. We will take an in-depth look at the risks and opportunities associated with digital payments and, most importantly, discuss how public-private partnerships can create a sustainable ERPS ecosystem. We will hear from our authorized ERPS issuers their experience with electronic retail payments. We will also hear from a micro-entrepreneur on how electronic payments can help to grow his business. It is anticipated that arising from these discussions, we will all have a renewed commitment to the development of the ecosystem to promote the use of digital products and to unlock the potential economic benefits associated with increased digitization of the economy. Ladies and gentlemen, I declare the conference open and with the wish that our deliberations will be fruitful. Thank you very much.
Driving financial inclusion through digital payments. That's what we're about today. The idea is to bring the regulators, the facilitators, along with some of the business partners into the discussion. And coming out of the dialogue today, hopefully we'll have a clear idea as to some of the challenges that are being faced by the various stakeholders. And we here at the Bank of Jamaica, we're about fashioning regulatory strategies to enable business, enable the growth and development of the financial sector. And we think that through engagement of our stakeholders, we will get certain insights which will assist us in discharging our responsibilities as a higher level of effectiveness. Well, the second day is going to be a little more of the same, but looking at perspectives of different stakeholder groups. Tomorrow, what we want to do is pay a little bit more attention to some of the options, the opportunities that are available as we seek to unlock the growth potential in the sector. I think the major challenge that we face is designing products and services that satisfy the needs of the average consumer. And I think that has to be an area of focus for us. I'm not convinced that the taxi operator, for example, has the products and services that he needs to be more efficient and to reduce his cost. I'm not convinced. And I think that there are opportunities for us to, better serve the needs of consumers such as the taxi operator. And I'm hoping that coming out of the discussions over the next 2 days, that we'll be exploring those, issues.
And on that note, we go to a break. Stay with us. Much more after this.
Stay current and gain more information on the ever-evolving industry of real estate on Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
The Good Life, your trusted source for useful health and wellness information, lifestyle tips for the mind, body, and soul. Tune in Tuesdays at 8:30 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us. Now let's join our presenter on stage.
The strategy of mobile payments, we think, is a win-win for financial inclusion. And let me explain a little bit this. If there is a country that goes directly to mobile payments without having gone through the previous stages of digital finance or buying through the internet, through traditional landlines, through the internet providers in general, we see internationally that the improvements go 10 times faster. So digital payments, mobile payments have two interesting notions for consumers. One, that they provide payments in real time. Second, that are cheaper. What's there not to like, right? And why do we think it's a win-win strategy for the different actors? First, for the unbanked, of course. If you do not have a banking account, and I've heard that roughly in Jamaica maybe it can be around 80% of the population, 70, 80%. But nevertheless, almost 100% have a mobile phone. So that brings opportunities, right? They will see that by starting paying over the phone, they are building a data, and they exist in the virtual economy of financial transactions. So they can be later provided with some insurance or offered some small credit line to buy electronically, and that's what happened precisely in China, where the e-commerce has brought all these payments. It's a win-win strategy for digital financial providers, and we saw that we are not talking about the traditional ones, the banks, but also new active players that now they can be interested, like fintech companies, startups, e-commerce, internet providers, to finance and to bank this new market share that represents almost 80% here. For the public sector, because they can use it also to different things. People can use it to pay taxes. The public sector can use it to provide benefits, welfare benefits through the digital accounts, and to other ends. So Bill Gates already said in 1995, we need banking, not banks. Interesting. That's what's happening now. banking is not a monopoly of the banks. It's a much bigger concept now. So we've seen in the recent years that this has been very true because we've seen the fintech activities, so the advancement of technology and the open platforms has made possible that new players come to offer financial services. Banking is it's a concept that is changing. So banks are from traditional banking to digital banks and other actors that are coming. Bill Gates said in 1995, we need banking, not banks, and this is becoming very true. I mean, we see a lot of financial disintermediation and fintechs, big techs, internet giants getting into the financial sector. That's from observance to what's going on in China, in India, and in other countries. This is a win-win strategy for consumers, for unbanked population, because they see that they can have access to more products. If start doing payments, then they can build transactional data, and this data is embedded into the system, and they can be sold other products. And this is a win-win strategy for the digital financial services providers, because they have access to population that has mobile phones, but they don't have a bank account. And finally, this is a win-win strategy for regulators, because they can use these systems also to provide welfare benefits, payments, payrolls, and they can be used to pay taxes, and so the traditional concept of banking is changing. And if the countries like Jamaica that didn't have a previous digital strategy that includes using landline services, it is well researched that the countries that go mobile first or mobile only, the improvements are 10 times faster, which is good news also. In terms of safety, it's very important to collaborate with the financial inclusion programs. They collaborate with financial literacy. They need to be aware of what are the different methods that they can use, and it's driven also by a good, like the Bank of Jamaica is doing and has in their agenda to promote financial literacy, to promote the use of these new ways to conduct business and through the mobile in a safe way for consumers, in the sense that they can avoid fraud, or they cannot be hacked, or they cannot be put at risk. So they need to know better how to do it. But having been said, these are very easy to use ways. So, for example, the social media messaging apps like WhatsApp is getting into payments. So what they are trying to do is to be very friendly used, and the consumer is at the center of the product. So you can use your app to pay, to buy cinema tickets, to use for taxes, to pay your taxes, to different things. So they are trying to do it so that it's very user-friendly.
We take our final break, but don't go anywhere. We have more highlights for you after this.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents will say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Cameo brings the creative industries to life, highlighting creatives in different fields each week. Art.
My life runs art. I breathe, I eat art.
Fashion. Food.
Without a customer, we're nothing but four walls.
Music. Film.
Cameo, only on Business Access TV.
Thanks for staying with us. Now for more highlights.
GKMPay really have quite a few functionalities, and I think one of the things I've learned this morning is the use of collaboration, because I can see how easily we can collaborate with SMEs and other persons here. So basically, our functionalities allow us to load remittances to phone, and we must say here that we're one of the only mobile payment solution that can do that. So for instance, you walk into our Western Union location, and you can load the cash that you would now take out of that location onto your phone, right? So the functionality, as you see, is there. We do telephone top-up, so you can top up your phone, whether it's Line, Digicel, Flow. You can also pay your bills, because as I would have said earlier, we have a bill payment entity. So you can pay from any one of our existing biller listing. We have peer-to-peer transactions where you can send money to other persons. So I'm here today, I need to pay my helper, how do I pay her? I basically send her transfer. If you notice, we talked also about what is going to make the customer change. Our portal allows us to have rewards. So basically, if you sign on as a merchant, you can offer discounts. So why use GKMPay? You also have rewards. So if you look, you see a number 2 there. It means currently when you would open your phone and look at your phone, you basically have 2 coupons there from 2 merchants that you can now redeem. I think it's important that we talk about security, because it was also mentioned the issue of lack of trust. Why should I use my phone? Is it safe? In developing our product, that was something we had to take into consideration. So in terms of using it, you have a PIN. You have to use a PIN to get on. You have to use a PIN to complete your payment. When you go into our self-serve portal, which is again helping you to basically help yourself through this new journey that you're on in terms of becoming digital, there is a self-serve or customer portal that is self-serve. And of course, it's encrypted. If you leave your phone, it's locked, right? If you lose your phone, you do not lose your money. And I think that's also very important that we have to educate our consumers on. If you lose your phone, it's even safer than if you have lost your wallet or if you have lost your credit cards or your debit card. There's not this long process. You call the call center and you reactivate your phone. So the issue of security and development was integral in terms of the platform that we developed. So what were some of the challenges we were facing in terms of GKMPay? And I heard it again from the previous presenter, the idea of educating our customers. There is still this lack of trust for the technology. You know, do I really trust that my money is going to be on my phone, that I'm going to be able to use it when and where I want to use it? What if I lose it? So how do we truly get our customers to embrace this new technology? We also have to educate them that it's safer, you know, to use the phone. I have in the audience, we invited the head of the Taxi Association here today, Alan Blair, right? And one of the things we've been saying is, as taxi men, collecting, how is it safe for you to be on the road all time of night with money on your body? So we're also promoting safety, but still we were having a challenge. So customers, merchants were really not accepting that this is a new norm. So we have launched GKMPay. I want to go to KFC, but KFC is saying, what is GKMPay? What's in it for me? And the customers are saying, I can't go anywhere and cash out, so why should I get GKMPay? So again, it was interesting to see the 2 approaches in terms of top-down, bottom-up, and which do we think is best for Jamaica, because there's going to have to be, I believe, a regulatory push to get persons on board, right? So the issue of onboarding our merchants, our agents, our customers is truly a challenge. Which come first, the chicken or the egg? So what do we need? We definitely need education, public awareness, not only of our customers, but also our consumers. We really, again, I said, would like to thank the BOJ for this type of symposium, because we do think it's building awareness. However, we think it has to go much more than that. It has to reach to the public in terms of saying, I have confidence in this system. I'm validating this new payment system for Jamaica. It's how Jamaica is truly going to have a digital economy. So we truly need that endorsement from the Bank of Jamaica. We need integration with our payment system, with our banking system. So if you think about it, the taxi man He collects his $100,000 for the night. What does he want to do? And we talk about financial inclusion. He wants to put that money in his bank account, right? So right now he would have to go and cash out. We're saying he should be able to go to FGB, NCB, and lodge his monies to his bank account. And we think this is another integral takeaway of a symposium like this. We really need our consumer to be able to be bankable. And if we talk about true financial empowerment, true financial inclusion, this is the way we're going to get it. One of the things, and I said review of the wallet size, one of the things we also say is if we have our taxi man lodging these funds every day to his bank, he can get his GK MPay statement. Why can't he use that statement to say, this is my source of income? You know, this is my true, legitimate source of income. Whether it is to get a small loan, whether it's to get a loan for his daughter to go to college, we don't know. But these type of forward thinking is really what we need when we start talking about digital payments.
Okay, Quisk is NCB's solution, NCB's mobile wallet offering. Essentially is a way that you can make a payment or receive payment without either plastic, and it's you use your phone number in order to you can use your phone number, go to the ABM and can do cash out from the ABM, or you can make a payment at a merchant. So if you were to go to a merchant and instead of swiping your card or insertion of your card, you enter your 10-digit phone number, then your 6-digit password, and then you can pay for your goods or services. So, and you can also do peer-to-peer transfers. So if we go to, let's say a group of us go to dinner and we go Dutch, we can just transfer all the funds to one person, and then that person can make the payment on the NCB terminal to pay for the dinner. We launched Quiz in 2016, and we've seen increased interest because of a number of changes we've made to the product, and we made it a little easier as well for customers. So we see where there's been significant increase, and we have a number of quick service restaurants. So we've increased the offering, we've built out the ecosystem, and we continue to build out this ecosystem. So customers are seeing increase in value in NCB Quisk. Just about every merchant who has NCB terminals, you would be able to access Quisk. So for the newer merchants, they're signed up automatically with Quisk. But for merchants who have been in our system for a long time, we continue to go through the process of adding Quisk to their terminals. So if there's any merchant that you'd like to use Quisk and you're not seeing where they have Quisk at this time, we can easily add them, because the same machine that any of our merchants have can process KeyCard, MasterCard, Visa card, can process multi-link debit card, process Amex, China Union Pay, Discover, JCB cards, and of course NCB Quisk. So the merchants don't require to have an additional terminal. So it's the same terminal that process all debit and credit card transactions that process Quisk right now.
The unbanked constitutes over 500,000 people, and we want to get them included. The government's policy of financial inclusion, and that's our aim. Our product is not as, what should I say, invasive as when you go to try and open a bank account. We have the Bank of Jamaica guidelines for the card, which is not as stringent. It's once you collect remittance from abroad, it's the same process. So it's not very difficult, but the difficulty is going to be education. How do you convince people who are not used to a product and what they perceive as a bank product? How do they get access to it? And that's what we're trying to do. We're trying to find ways to make it simple and fast. I think it's very timely, because without financial inclusion, the economy cannot grow. If you have half your population unbanked and doesn't have access to financial services, which means credit, just a regular bank account to do transactions, it's very, very difficult to maximize your potential. We went to a card product as opposed to the mobile wallet. Our products can also use mobile technology, but it's just an educational process, and that's long and hard. to convince somebody to put your money on a device like a phone. It's not an easy thing to persuade people to do. They don't have any confidence in it. They have never seen it. And how do you convince them that it is safe and this is going to be a very convenient tool? But over time, I believe Jamaicans are very technology savvy and hungry, and we hope that over time we'll have that.
That brings us to the end of part 1 of our 2-part coverage of the Driving Financial Inclusion with Digital Payments Conference. Until next time, I'm Javon Keys. Stay tuned to Business Access TV, serious about business.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Welcome to part 2 of BATV's coverage of the Driving Financial Inclusion with Digital Payments Conference happening right here at the Bank of Jamaica. I'm your host, Javon Keys, inviting you to stay tuned.
DBJ, in collaboration with the Inter-American Development Bank, has embarked on a program of financial inclusion, or assisting with the development of the and also assisting with the development of the micro, small and medium-sized enterprises. Now, an important part of the conference is to bring awareness to the availability of the relevant technologies that can assist in bringing efficiencies to businesses. So this conference is under the theme Electronic Retail Payments as well as Financial Inclusion, because we're seeking to bring micro and small businesses into the formal sector and for them to understand how they can utilize digital technology to improve their business operations. We think that the conference is timely because we're at a stage now in the market where there are 3 providers of call it non-traditional services, mobile money services, and one in the form of a prepaid MasterCard. Now, as it relates to mobile money, that particular service has been on the market for about 3 or 4 years, but the adoption of mobile money services has been below par. But mobile money has been used in other areas to move persons into the formal sector and to assist in reducing things like transaction costs for businesses. So we think it is timely now that our MSMEs seek to adopt this technology as they move towards improving business efficiency. As it relates to the presenters, we endeavor to bring presenters who are already in the space, persons who are aware of the technology, and persons who could contribute and help in convincing microfinance organizations as well as other stakeholders of the importance of moving Jamaica in this direction.
The
idea behind this is really seeking how we can help to develop the ecosystem for digital payments to encourage more persons to actually use it as a means of engaging with regulated financial institutions or regulated payment system providers. The thinking behind it is that you have to understand the customer's perspective, remove the pain points, understand the provider's perspective, and facilitate the flow of business and funding, because this financial inclusion project is part of a broader project to empower Jamaicans to actually engage in the global economy. First of all, I think we need to redefine ourselves. I think we limit ourselves unnecessarily. Jamaicans, and Jamaica is actually on the cusp of becoming first world. We're an upper middle income country. We have sacrificed greatly in terms of financial sector reform. So what you see in the ERPS guidelines, the Electronic Retail Payment Services guidelines, is the creation of the regulatory framework which speaks to consumer protection, speaks to agents, speaks to the nature of the product design, and we go through a rigorous assessment of the product, which means that when a consumer now uses an authorized ERPS product, they have confidence that Bank of Jamaica has looked at the issue, looked at fit and proper, looked at the agent network, and even looked at the mechanisms to protect the consumer. So, of course, data protection is critical, but what also needs to be remembered at each point is that this is a means of facilitating payments. So we have tiered levels because we understand that the transaction volume and the value of each transaction is important to the individual customer. So it's all being done from a customer perspective as well as ensuring you develop the ecosystem. We are about empowering Jamaicans and empowering our financial institutions and providers by bringing them together in a forum where we can speak about the areas that need to be improved upon and addressed. And the main takeaway for the Jamaicans would be that we can actually use digital payments to facilitate business and facilitate it easily with confidence, knowing the payment will go through, knowing that it will reach its intended recipient, and knowing that you have confidence at the end of the day your wallet, your mobile wallet, is in fact operating as it should to protect you.
I was presenting on public-private partnerships and how its impact can influence a successful ecosystem for electronic retail payments. The main takeaway points is that the private sector, in assisting the government to achieve national financial inclusion strategy, cannot do it on its own. There has to be a substantial investment by the government itself to advance financial inclusion. This conference is an offshoot of the government's plan, and in this plan it involves the commitment to public and private partnership, which is education of the public on the government's intention to support digital products for the underserved, and hence it's called financial inclusion. It's very timely. Digital evolution, it's becoming faster and faster, and the sooner Jamaicans are made aware of the opportunities, the sooner the investors, all stakeholders, and the consumers can participate. I personally would not like to see a foreign company come in and provide solutions to our own citizens, which we are capable of doing. So it is incumbent upon us to now start to roll out our strategies. There are 4 authorized issuers, and issuer is the company who will be providing the service. There is Alliance, GK, which does MPay, Quisk, NCB, and previously there was Connect. And these companies have made significant advancements and investments into the new ecosystem. And I personally believe that there's so much opportunity. Lasco Financial Services is preparing its application as well, because we see the opportunities in the market. But for the state, we believe it is necessary for them to assist us with the public education, because we have to convert. It's going to be a lot to convert new customers who are not fully aware of the opportunities and the entire security features of this digital payment. That us as issuers can't do on our own. So that was mainly the gist of my presentation, to make the state think differently about their role in financial inclusion, and also to make the investors think differently about their role. I find that most of the investors are so focused on the payment system, which is the technology, and not thinking about the ecosystem. Now, the ecosystem is necessary to drive success, which is all the merchants involved, all the agents that are involved, and other government stakeholders. So I hope today I was able to give them a different perspective. So far, there's not been any successful business proposition, neither for the customer nor the investors themselves. So I hope I was able to get them to think a little differently today.
It's time for a quick break, but stay with us. We have much more after this.
Doggin Global Introduction. Doggin Global is an integrated multidisciplinary professional service firm. We are integrated as one firm and provide several professional services, including audit, accounting, tax, IT, risk, HR, performance, M&A, corporate recovery, and other advisory services. The firm is organized in several professional service units, which includes Doggin Auditors, Doggin Advisors, Doggin Legal, Doggin Finance, Doggin HR Solutions, Doggin Tech Solutions, Doggin Media, Doggin Corporate Secretarial. If you are interested in any of our services, please contact us for a free quote. Email info@doggin.global. Website doggin.global.
Welcome back and thanks for staying with us.
So people earn more as technology get adopted. So that's on the macro side, but then there are overwhelming distributional effect of technology. The high school droppers, their real wage hasn't moved from 1963, from the 60s. So what happened with technology adoption is that those who are able to use those technologies are the one who benefit, because the technology is complementary to high skill. Think about powerful computers. You can do programming. Obviously, you program faster. You can run your code faster. But if you have robots are substitute to who? Robots are substitute to low-skilled workers. You still need high-skilled people to program those robots. So in equilibrium, you would have more higher real wage, higher productivity for high-skilled workers, and lower real wage for low-skilled workers. Because the demand for those low-skilled is lower because they get substituted with robots, but the demand for high-skill is higher because you need more high-skilled people to program and to actually operate those robots. Now, that's the general perspective on technology, but you may wonder, is this time different? Is the digital revolution different from the previous technological change that occurred? In some respect, yes, but not totally. Yes, because this chart shows you the lag in the adoption of technologies. So if you look at earlier technologies in terms of motor engines, they were slow. The adoption of those technologies was slower. So the digital is faster to adopt, maybe because of the nature of the technology itself. But the reality is that the changes that we've seen over the past 50 years, you may have to double that. You'll be thinking about it 50 years ahead, because technology diffusion is faster. Now, I do believe that people learn fast. I mean, we saw yesterday in the keynote there was a top-down approach to financial inclusion, which in the case of Jamaica could mean the path benefits are channeled through funds. And as you do that alone, if people are already aware that my path benefit will be coming on my phone, it unlocks that possibility to use funds as device to mobile service and all. So I think there is some scope for top-down in terms of what the policy can do to incentivize those behaviors. In some other countries where the private sector is very large and have a lot of access to credit, they could also engineer, they could facilitate that process. But I think in developing countries there is a scope for government to kind of fuel the process.
I was essentially
looking back and to see how technology, what has been the impact on technology, on work, technology on distribution. And the key message there is that technological advancement have generally been associated with higher growth, higher productivity, and higher real wages on aggregate. But they also come with some challenges because when there are new technology, some people get displaced because some new jobs get created as a substitution to some of the old jobs. So usually technology are more skill biased. So those people who have skills are complementary to technology. Like if you need robots, you're essentially substituting low-skill jobs. But those people who can operate the robots and program the robots, those are the people who, in the first instance, benefit the most. Now, that could lead to polarization of income. So you may have more inequality because the more skill get more and the low skill get less because they get substituted by the machines, right? So the question there is what can policy do? And this is one of the questions that I was trying to provide an answer to, drawing on some work that has been done at the IMF on technology and the future of work. And essentially, there is a taxation and spending policies that could be adopted. First, to make sure that the unskilled can keep up with technology in terms of upgrading their skills. And number two, how to finance that. Because if the government wants to spend more in those areas, there is scope to raise taxes. And when you think about tax, you don't want to tax the income of the person earning more because he may work less. So you don't want distortionary taxes. You want consumption type tax. So in that model, they try to see if taxing consumption to finance more education spending and providing some transfers, how can you redistribute the gain of technological change? So you keep the growth, so you keep the fact, you don't prevent technology from occurring, because one of the nature of the growth and development is that new sectors comes up, some jobs get destroyed, and as long as there is no distortion in the process, you shouldn't prevent the process. And that's what policy can do, in terms of using taxation and spending to make sure that although the aggregate gains of technology are protected, you also take care of the non-so skilled in terms of upgrading them.
We take our final break, but don't go anywhere. We have more highlights for you after this.
I'm 36. I'm a husband, a manager, and still very good looking. In 2 hours, I have the most important meeting of my life. But first, it's time to play. The new Suzuki Vitara.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Thanks for staying with us, and if you're just tuning in, we're here at the Driving Financial Inclusion with Digital Payments Conference. Now for more highlights.
Security incidents have been increasing in sophistication, frequency, and the magnitude of impact. So no longer you have a one-way hack. So we hack an organization somewhere and it's isolated. No more we have that. We're going big. Hackers are organized. You have hacker teams, and I really don't want to scare you really bad, but we have them locally too. And on these teams, you have the person who is in charge of personal data. You are the technical person. You do the social engineering. Different persons have their different roles. So they're dedicated to what they do. This is their job. To figure out how to get into a certain amount of accounts and take out the money. These incidents, as I may have alluded to before, affect the reputation of the company, their finances, and even their physical assets, because they can take down your networks. This undermines your competitiveness and your ability to innovate and position yourself in the marketplace. You can suffer tangible, physical, or economic harms. Security incidents can impose significant costs on an economy as a whole, eroding trust and spreads across sectors. The attacks themselves may be intentional. So they may sit and plan for a year that look will come in for Bank of Jamaica. However, it may also be unintentional. You may just have that one user that's clicked on the wrong thing. A lot of times that happens. What are some of the ways in which this can happen? Now, research has shown that the biggest security issue in any organization is the human factor. So you spend all this money and you buy the latest firewalls and you have all the policies in place. But if your users are not aware, if they don't know that Mr. Morrison's name does not have an S, it can cause a problem. So you have to be aware, you have to be really conscious of these things. Think about it. You must have policies and procedures in place. As the leaders, as the managers of the organizations, you have to ensure that you have the end user policies, your social media policies. I know these are things we generally don't think about because they're not traditional, but it's the age in which we're living again. You must look at things such as passwords. You have to ensure that their users know that their name is not a good password. They also need to be aware of the fact that when you give them a set of credentials, it's theirs. And anything happens under those credentials, they are responsible. And always be careful of opening and following links in unsolicited mail. If you don't know the person, like me and the cyber jutsu person, don't be clicking at them. As much as it may make you feel good, the feel-good factor is what they use to catch. And what we say, always we cyber say, protect yourself online and think before you click. And I've even gone further now to say think before you post, because some of the things that you're posting, they're even more dangerous than some of the things in your phone.
I spoke about the need for persons to be aware of the issues that can arise with using online platforms as well as using electronic devices. So we want people to know that while there are good uses, and I did speak to some of the uses of social media in marketing and in promoting a business, there are some risks that exist, and I gave some examples as to how to manage those risks. Companies need to do all that is necessary to protect consumers' data. Why I don't think sometimes they realize that this data that they hold is valuable to other organizations, some not necessarily legal organizations as well, for all sorts of use. And that is what we're trying to get across, that companies need to realize that you're holding personal data and other persons are interested in this data, so it is your responsibility to protect it. When you're using online platforms, when you're using electronic devices, think before you click, think before you post with social media. You need to consider the impact that whatever you post may have, not only on you, but on others. Thinking before you click can save yourself and your organization a lot of trouble.
As it relates to a digital world, and as users and consumers increase their usage, and the intention is that as technology improves and increase, then more and more persons should take up the use, especially to do businesses and services. But the direction that we're heading is good, but we also have to think about the negative side of things, in the sense that there are challenges with respect to security aspect of what we do. We do a lot of business online. We do a lot of transaction, point of sale services. All of these things, pose risk and threat for the consumers. Criminals are out there. They're understudying and looking at how things move on and progress with respect to businesses, whether it's online businesses and things like that. They can get involved in studying your patterns of usage online. Say, for example, if you pay bills online, if you shop online, normally you'll put your information about your card online, your PIN number online. Criminals can now send, malicious software to your smart devices. Once it gets on your devices, these criminals now have access to your information. It dumps things like keyloggers, so when you're ready to put your card number in, they capture that number. It goes as far as turning on your camera system and turns on your audio system. Sounds very scary, but indeed it is so. I'm not here to let persons become paranoid, but becomes aware of the possibilities that are out there. Sometimes you go to point of sale to do your transactions. We have to be careful of the persons that are accepting your debit and credit card, because sometimes they work with the criminal underworld. They get things like skimmers, a similar thing to your swipe when you take it to the supermarket or gas station. Swipes. Criminals are now bringing into the country the fake ones, so that cashiers and persons who are accepting these cards, they will have the fake, what we call a skimmer. Once you make your payment and you're not paying attention, these persons can swipe these cards, capture the information about your card, recreate your card, or get into your account. So I'd advise shoppers, when you go to the gas station, don't just give your card and turn your back or let the attendant go away with your card. If they're not doing these transactions in your presence, then you should not do business with that kind of business place. So these are some of the things, we just want you to be aware that these are the possibilities, and you have to be vigilant as a user and as a consumer, because the more and more we move into a cashless society, it becomes more challenging for law enforcement to investigate these cases. As I said before, the internet has no borders, and all of these things are connected on a global scale to different servers providing different services. And sometimes you have persons out there that can hide their criminal activity. Say, for example, an IP address. Criminals can now hide your IP address, make it appear that it's coming from a specific server, a proxy server, makes it more difficult for law enforcement to track these criminals. But I want to reassure the Jamaican public that law enforcement and government is doing the best they can at this point, seeing that digitization and technology drives the economy. We'll have to prepare ourselves to serve and protect consumers as they use technology more. Laws are in place to deal with criminals and to deter their activity. We have the Cybercrime Act of 2015, which is now up for revision. The penalties are stiff. If it's in the lower court, it can be between 3 to 5 years or $3 to $5 million. If it's in the upper court, you can get a maximum of 20 years or $20 million. And these are some of the things we are putting in place to deter criminal activity. Of course, the police department do have a specific unit that deals with the investigation of these types of crimes. Personnel have been trained and have the necessary skill set that can investigate these matters. Another thing is that Jamaica is a part of a global network of investigators and skilled person who can investigate these cases. So because the internet has no borders, it means that a perpetrator can, have access to your information from outside of Jamaica. which means that you need the support of other countries. Jamaica is a part of a 24/7 network, which comprises of about 80 different countries. So if a perpetrator appears to be coming from country X, once that country is a part of the network, then they will collaborate and support the investigation with the local police department. And that is something that, we want consumers to be reassured that indeed we are trying to keep up with the game as criminals get more sophisticated.
And that brings us to the end of part 2 of our 2-part coverage of the Driving Financial Inclusion with Digital Payments conference. Until next time, I'm Javon Keys, inviting you to stay tuned to Business Access TV, serious about business.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bills? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Being on Business Access TV has promoted my business in that it has exposed me. I'm selling to Sanders now. I've been even to Brussels. I've get commission to build the ACP logo. And I'm back here now, I'm doing different items, like it's creating more souvenir, different style of souvenir. Anyone that is considering to do business with Business Access TV should go right ahead because it motivates and propels the work forward.
Hey guys, and thanks for joining me on another episode of Chill Spot. Today we'll be hanging out with Sherida Dujan. She's the Vice President of Administration at Thwaites Vincent Sharp Insurance Brokers. She'll be sharing with us her ultimate getaway here in the hills, which is just relaxation with her close group of friends. So stay with us for another fun episode of Chill Spot.
Hello.
Hi Sherida, this is Candy.
Hi Candy. How are you, honey?
I'm well. I just wanted to know, I know we're going somewhere that may be far. I want to know the directions or where we should meet you.
Meet me at Sovereign.
At
Meet
Sovereign.
me at Sovereign for
Okay.
11. Yeah.
Okay, that's perfect.
Okay.
That's 11.
And then you can drive behind me.
That's
All right?
perfect. Thank you so much. See you soon.
Okay, love. See you later.
Okay,
bye.
bye. Hi, Sharita.
Hi, honey.
How are you?
I'm good.
So tell me, what's the plan for today now?
All right, so we're going to go up to my house in the hills and get away from this heat down on the lowlands, right? A very easy drive, so we're going to head to Papine.
Okay.
And when we get to Papine, we're just going to keep going straight. We're not turning off anywhere. Just follow back. You can't last.
Cool, so I'll see you soon.
See you later.
Bye.
Bye.
I'm already loving being up here. How often do you get to come up here?
You know, Candy, not very often, to be honest. Probably once every 3 months is when I really come up. That's the truth.
Wow.
Yeah.
And what do you do when you come up here?
I just relax. You know, it's just really downtime from Kingston. I like to read, so I bring my books. You know, and it's usually with the family, always with the family. So we sit down and it's just, you know, getting together and reminiscing and just family time, cards. You know, we'd turn on the fireplace at night and just downtime.
Relax.
Really, yeah, chill.
It's just such
decompress.
It's like you're driving and then you come to an oasis.
I know, you don't expect to see
Yes.
this when you hit that corner and this is right there in front
It's
of you.
just so beautiful, I must tell you. Tell us about the property.
I think my parents purchased this when I was probably about 12. So I'm not going to tell you how old I am, but it's a long time ago, okay? It was actually originally owned by a fellow named Hamilton, I think, who had a joinery down in Papine.
Okay.
So when you go inside and you see all the woodwork, the archways and so on, it was down there. And he had to bring that up on donkeys and just, man,
wow.
and amazing. And then it was sold to a Colonel Lister, an Englishman, and his wife, who actually lived here.
Okay.
And then they went back to England when she died. And my mom and I actually went to visit him when I was in my teens, when we went to London. Yes.
That must
And
have
then
been
my
nice.
dad, my grandfather and a friend purchased the house when I was, you know, a very young child. So it's been in the family since and it's evolved over time. But originally, to get here, there was no road. And it was just a track, just a bridle track, okay?
I understand.
And a donkey would meet us at the foot of the track with a, you know, those hampers you see?
And
with,
you used to set the donkey
we
come
put
up here?
all our food in the hampers that we brought for the weekend. Everybody had a knapsack with their clothes and stuff. And we used to take that trek up the track. And that's
Are you serious?
Yes, for years.
So you actually went on the donkey, or the donkey just
The
transported
donkey
things?
transported everything. And he'd be standing right there waiting
so
when
that-
we got here.
And then you just walk with the donkey?
And then we'd walk with the donkey. Until my elder brother graduated from university, and then, you know, they had this idea about coffee and stuff. And then, you know, one thing, as I said, the rest is history. It just evolved into that. And
So you mentioned coffee. Tell me about that.
yes, it's all down here below where you can.
Wow, that must be nice.
Originally it was flowers. We used to grow carnations up here. We still have some flowers, but it was carnations originally. And my mom used to manage that. So she would come up with the donkey and her gardener, and they would bring these carnations down and sell them to the florists in town.
Wow, and now that's coffee.
Yeah, it's coffee.
So what do you have planned for us for today?
Well, you know, since the drive was a little bit, you know, winding, we probably can have a little coffee or a little wine or whatever you feel like. We can sit down and chill for a little bit, and then we'll have some lunch and, you know, just shoot the breeze.
All right, sounds
How's
like
that
a plan.
sound?
And I'm excited to see what's inside.
Oh, well, let's go. Come right in, my friends are here and you can meet them.
Hi,
This is
everyone. Hi. This is my auntie. You don't have to introduce
Okay,
her.
okay.
One of my cheerleaders from Mona Prep.
Wow, small world.
Yes, it is. We went to Mona Prep together.
And so did Eleanor.
As in not parents of, you went to Mona
We
Prep.
went to Mona Prep. And we were not in the first year, okay? Not the first cohort.
No.
Okay, so this is Sonia
Hi. Nice to meet you.
and Carl.
know your face from somewhere.
Where could it be?
It could be Kai and Chad Williams.
Oh, those are my cousins.
You see, it's a small world, so you would know my son then.
Your son is?
Israel.
I do know Israel.
Wow.
I do.
Wow. Okay, this is going to be a great day, girls. Everybody knows everybody.
Small world.
Yeah.
Good to see you too.
And this is Sharon.
Hi,
Sharon and I actually
Sharon.
work in the same industry. And her husband and my husband are really good friends.
Hi, Sharon.
Yeah. And that's Pretty Rosie.
Hi, Pretty Rosie.
Whose husband I knew long before her, okay? He'll tell you it's when I was a little girl, okay? And Ellie and I go way, way, way back.
Hi, and I know her too.
Okay, all right, wonderful.
Coming up, and I want to get you guys involved. Tell me a little bit about Sherda. How would you describe her?
I would describe her as OCD. Love her to death. She's a girl just of my own heart.
She did mention she was a perfectionist.
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You know, is that what you're really trying to
I'm 36. I'm a husband, a manager, and still very good looking. In 2 hours, I have the most important meeting of my life. But first, it's time to play. The new Suzuki Vitara.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
I'm so hungry,
Yes.
Candy, honestly, you know. I'd really pre-prepared most of the stuff.
Right.
Because I knew we weren't going to come up here until about midday.
So what will we be having for lunch, Sherda?
It's going to be a very light kind of lunch,
Yes.
Candy. So we're going to have a lobster salad, a chicken salad,
Lovely.
a nice garden salad. I'm going to do a pak choi salad. So I'll make that up here.
Right.
So you know,
To
we
give me
some
you have
fresh
to
bread.
tell me everything and show me everything, so I can go home and do it too.
Promise, and it's easy and quick. So we just get the raw pak choi
Right.
and we just slice it up.
Right.
And we use all of it. You know, the green part, and we use the white part as well.
Okay.
It's a really quick, easy
Salad.
recipe.
Yeah.
Yeah. We have some stuff that we add to it and a nice sauce that we do as well.
Oh, lovely. Are you a big kitchen person? Do you like to cook?
Stop. No. I don't like to cook and I cannot cook. Okay?
I don't believe
No,
you.
I swear to you, I can't. There are a couple of things that I can do well, but they're few and far between.
Right.
And I think it's just part of my personality where if I can't do something perfectly, I don't want to do it. It's not a good thing because then
Right.
you don't
get to do a lot of the
exactly.
things, right.
And I'm a foodie. You'd never believe it. Looking at me. You know, some people eat to live.
Right.
I live to eat. So I know what good food tastes like. If I can't cook it like that, I'm
Right.
not interested.
You're not going to follow?
No.
Well, I'm excited to taste the food. So even just this little pak choi is getting me very hungry.
All right.
So I'm ready for the salad.
Okay, so let's put it together. So we have all our pak choi cut up here now,
Right.
Candy. So this dressing that I made before I came up consists of, what is it again now? Soy sauce, red wine vinegar.
Miss can't cook.
Well, I just write it down and follow the recipe. A little sugar. And then this is ramen noodles. You know that
What?
Yes, that it comes with like a
Yes,
shrimp flavor.
yes,
right.
and the chicken
So you just
flavor.
take out the flavors. I use the chicken one.
Right.
And almonds, okay? So you just melt a little butter with some sugar and then you put this in a frying pan and just toss it till it gets brown.
Wow.
And then when it cools, you just crush it up. Okay, so that's
Wow.
all. And we're just gonna mix this up now.
Okay.
bless this food to our body in Jesus' name. Amen.
Amen.
First, thank you so much for joining me today. I really appreciate it. And I hope that you're having a wonderful time.
Here.
Here's to another 50.
Thank you.
Eyes. Eyes.
I'd just like to thank you for this experience and for inviting me up here because I really am having a great time.
I'm so happy, and especially since you told me you've never been up here
No,
before.
I've never.
I'm always happy to share it with people who can appreciate, this type of atmosphere.
And the serenity.
Because it's not everybody's thing. It's some people like the beach. It's not everybody's thing. So I'm happy to have you.
Yes, thank you very much. And I want to get you guys involved. Tell me a little bit about Sherda. How would you describe her?
Very organized and selfless, I think I would say.
I would describe her as OCD. Love her to death. She's a girl just of my own heart because we're OCD alike.
She did mention she was a perfectionist.
Oh, yes.
Yeah. Is that what you're really trying to say? I just check it. Persnickety?
And I'll be anal too, but that's why we work along.
Okay.
We work together on boards and stuff together. And we're no-nonsense people. She's a no-nonsense girl. A
Right.
beautiful person. Give up all of her heart, but trust me, let me tell you though, no nonsense and very detailed.
What else would you guys say you like to do together?
We're from house to house. I mean, that's the whole Topsy stage has passed, okay? The clubbing has passed. So we kind of move from house to house, and it's dinners. We do a lot of weekends together in the country.
Long weekends if there's...
Sharon has a house at Richmond, so we're always down there.
Sharon likes the beach.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah. And don't forget dancing. Oh, yeah, man, we love to dance. Yeah. Yeah, man.
He loves to dance.
I love to dance.
So much fun. We've done a lot of dancing right up here on that front. Wow.
And then there's just, TGIF. And once a week is always get together and have a glass of wine and shoot the breeze. And yeah, man. Yeah.
We just gotta come forward and say, okay, I've got to drink this evening. What you doing? We need to meet.
You guys remind me a lot of my friends and what we aspire to be. We're very, very close and we get together once a week and we always say we have to do something every Friday night. I mean, some Friday nights we can't, but as best as we can, we try to maintain our friendship. And it's not a lot of party and things.
No. It's just company.
It's just company.
That's it.
Girls need girls. I definitely agree with that.
For sure.
So talk to us about your childhood. Where were you raised? Did you have siblings? What schools you went to? That sort of thing.
Actually grew up in an area called Mountain Spring. I don't know if a lot of people go walking up there. It was just an amazing childhood. It was so, every household had kids and it was just a safer time. So, we'd be outside just sitting down on the curb wall until 12, 1 o'clock in the morning talking. Riding bicycles up and down, sliding down the gully side on our bottom and, hiking up to Jacksonville. It was just wonderful. And I went to Mona prep school, and then I went on to St. Hugh's. My mom was a nurse and she worked at Natal Hospital, so it was very close. I could just walk across, so that's why we chose that. I really wanted to be a St. Andrew girl. I was a St. Andrew wannabe because all my friends went there, but it just logistically didn't make sense. And from there I went to Alpha Business College. I have 2 brothers, one younger, one older. I'm right in the middle. And they actually run this coffee business, right? So they're the ones that run the farm up here and all the processing, and it's from the bean to the cup.
Wow.
So they grow the coffee here.
And that's the coffee that we had earlier.
Absolutely.
It was delicious. You mentioned going to, was it business school?
Alpha Business College.
Right. Why did you choose to pursue business?
Well, it's not really business per se.
Right.
It was really Alpha Commercial College. But that's a little before your time.
I was just about to say, what is a commercial college?
They teach you shorthand and typewriting and principles of business.
Typewriting.
Yes. Yes. Have you ever seen a typewriter?
Yes, I've seen a typewriter.
But what really happened was that I was going to do languages. I was going to do German and Spanish after I finished my O-levels. So I went into lower 6 and I didn't have a German teacher for a whole term. And I was like, this is crazy.
So hold on, they were teaching German in Jamaica?
Yeah. And you know, when you're doing A-levels, you're not exactly doing 9 subjects.
Right.
So I'm just kind of idling here. And I'm like, this isn't going to work out. So a very close friend of mine from high school had left after 5th form and gone to Alpha Business College. So she was a term ahead of me. And then she called me and she said, why you don't come? You know, and I said, why not? You know, shorthand and typing is something I'll always be able to use no matter what I do. So since I don't know what I want to do, let me go do that. So that's how I ended up at Alpha Business College. And actually a term before I graduated, the same friend who had graduated a term before me called to say that she was working at this insurance brokerage and there was an opening there. Why didn't I come and, you know, try out for the position? And I did, and that's how I ended up in insurance.
Wow.
Yeah. So I really started out as a secretary and I just
kind of worked your way up.
Yeah.
And you mentioned having 2 brothers. What are they like?
They're very different. My younger brother is very, very outgoing and a real people person. You know, he's the kind of guy that if he's talking to you, you feel like you're the only person in the world. He's like that, just really social and very protective. My older brother is a lot more reserved. Wouldn't you say, guys?
Yeah.
He never used to be like that. But since he's been married, they both have 2 kids each. He's just really become a homebody. But they're great guys and they really look out for me. It's a nice, close family, you know?
And Sherda, what else do you like to do? What are your other interests? Do you exercise? What else do you do for fun?
All sorts of things. So many things, so little time. I love to travel. I do a little exercise. I do Pilates. I love to eat.
Yeah, she's not
I don't love, yes. In fact, when I travel, that's a big part of travel. I love food. I love to read. I love to dance.
Oh,
Love
wow.
to dance. I used to dance at school of dance. I used to be a real soca tetis, but just not anymore. But I love to dance. Love to dance.
Usually one of the first ones on the dance floor. And then Carl.
Oh, Carl. No, Carl is the first person on the dance floor.
Well, Sherda, thank you so much for lunch. It was delicious. I think everybody can agree that the food was good. I'm full.
Your pak choy salad was delicious.
My pak choy salad. Good one. But it was delicious.
You helped make it, right?
Yeah, she can talk now.
You can?
She's mad.
I was worried. I was really worried because I could have any ambulance up here, you know?
So I think we're going to go chat some more.
Yes,
but thank you, ladies, for having us.
You're welcome. It was a pleasure.
Thank you. It was an experience.
It was lovely. Lovely.
All right, then let's go.
Okay.
Coming up.
I think generally the public is skeptical. And I think the industry is partly to blame, but they're also to blame because the truth of the matter is nobody reads the fine print.
Business current affairs you can relate to. Frank, credible discussion. On point, dissecting the issues. Offering solutions to Jamaica's challenges. On Point, Thursdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
It's almost like up here has like a microclimate, its own microclimate, and it keeps changing because earlier it was sunny, but now I'm a little bit cold.
I know, that's the beauty of it, you know, you just never know.
Yes.
It's hot 1 minute and then you have the mist rolling in the next.
But it's just always beautiful no matter what the condition is.
So pretty.
So now we want to talk about the professional side of you. You are the vice president. Tell us what your job entails.
My responsibilities really are administration. Okay, there are 3 of us in the business, 2 partners that are directly involved on a day-to-day basis, and my other partner really deals with the technical side. He conceptualizes, and I deal with administration. So basically, I make sure that all the documentation is in order. I make sure that T's are crossed and the I's are dotted. It's always outing a fire here and there. They come to you, there's a claim that can't be settled, Mr. Dujan. The insurance company has repudiated liability, and you have to find a way to try and sort it out. Is this something I really want to go and beg them to help me with? Or, let me pull the policy and see, is this warranted? Do they really have a right to repudiate liability? It's never the same any 2 days. You come to work and you say, I'm going to do this, and you never end up doing that because it's always a curveball. But basically, my main core function is administration.
And how long have you been in insurance?
Since I was 18.
18? Yeah. So it's the only thing you've ever done
professionally? The only thing I've ever done. I worked at another brokerage, and then one of my partners was leaving. He just had been approached by my other partner who knows nothing about insurance. He was just interested in trying something else. And somebody recommended Brett to him. And so when Brett was leaving, he came to me, Shirley, I have this opportunity, and I'd really love if you join me. Can I tell you, I didn't even think twice. I think if somebody asked me that now at this stage of life, I'd be like, oh my goodness, what if? Suppose it doesn't work. I just went to my dad and asked him for a loan to invest, and that was it.
The rest is history.
I guess I had faith in him, and then I was young, footloose and fancy free, and the rest is history. Yes, you're right.
Why is insurance and what you do so important?
Well, insurance basically is a transfer of risk. And so what you are doing when you insure is transferring that risk to the insurance company. And essentially what I do is I sell a claim. It's an intangible product, nobody can see it. And as a result, a lot of people are skeptical about it because you never really see the value of it until you have a claim. But the truth of the matter is that when you have a claim, it's very traumatic because it means that your house is either burnt down, which honestly, I think besides hearing that you've been diagnosed with a terminal illness, that has to just see everything go up in flames is just horrible. Or your car has been I can't even imagine that. Your car has been stolen, your business has been broken into, it's just a very traumatic time. You don't have your car now, so you can't get your kids to school, you can't get to work on time. So it's important. Or whether it's health insurance, because you need that to be able to, fund your medical bills and so on. So that answers the question in terms of why is it important. I think generally the public is skeptical, and I think the industry is partly to blame, but they're also to blame because the truth of the matter is nobody reads the fine print. If I asked you if you've read your motor policy, I'm sure you're going to tell me no. Nobody reads it. And so when you have a claim, it's a big surprise. And so I think it's very important that people's expectations are realistic, and it's something that I try to preach in my office. When somebody comes with a claim, you have to let them know from day one what to expect. And when you're selling that policy, it's important for them also to know, there's going to be a deductible, there's an average clause. You have to let them know what is going to happen in the event of a claim. So I think to some extent, a lot of people are not receptive because they always feel that they get gypped when they have a claim. But the truth of the matter is they didn't take the time to listen and they didn't read the policy. And on our part too, I guess sometimes we don't stop to explain it, which is why it's a good thing to have a broker, which is what I do. I'm an insurance brokerage, because the whole idea is that you're giving that personalized service and you're there to, you're going to a big department store. There are people to help you. But, my brokerage is kind of like, I like to describe it as a boutique broker. When you come in, it's personalized. Because when you go into a boutique, people are running around helping you. Yeah, so it's important to explain exactly what to expect.
What do you hope to achieve in your industry or for yourself professionally?
Well, I hope that, when I retire, which hopefully will be soon, I'll be remembered as somebody that was very professional, somebody of integrity, which is a problem that I have now, and I hope that people aren't going to hate me for this, but when I started out, it was a lot different, a whole lot different. Somebody's word was their bond, and I didn't even have to send you something in writing. If I called you and I said, could you insure this for me, it was done. I think what is really happening now is really a microcosm of what exists in the society, in that there is really not a lot of new business because there's, you know, the economy was very stagnant for a while, and so there wasn't a lot of productivity going on. And so the only way to sort of build your business was to take business from somebody else.
Yeah.
So the ethics and the standards and the values have really eroded.
Yes.
And I have tried to maintain what prevailed when I joined the industry, you know, 30 odd years ago. And maybe it's not very popular right now, but I hope at the end of the day, once I've left, that my brokerage, because when you talk about me and what contribution I hope to make, I think of my company.
Right.
I hope that that's how we're going to be remembered, you know, that we are a brokerage of integrity and that we really fight for our clients. We try to not just sell your policy, but to buy you something that, you know, is really what you need, you know, based on your risk exposure.
Well, Sherda, thank you so much for sharing your chill spot with us, which was just so amazing. This is indescribable to be up here and to experience this and to feel a cloud.
I know, we were in a cloud.
Can't
weren't
say
you?
I've never felt a cloud before today.
Yes.
So thank you so much for letting me experience this and sharing this with us.
It was my pleasure, Candy. I really, really enjoyed the day. Thank you so much for having me on Chill Spot.
We've come to the end of another episode of Chill Spot, where we got to know more about Sherda Dujan, Vice President of Administration at Thwaites Finson Sharp Insurance Brokers. Sherda told us all about her 9 to 5 and what she does to escape it all. Join us for another episode next Friday, and until then, I'm your host, Candy. Bye.
We went to Mona Prep together.
And so did Eleanor.
As in not parents of, you went to Mona
We
Prep.
went to Mona Prep. And we were not in the first year, okay? Not the first cohort.
No.
Are you a big kitchen person? Do you like to cook?
Stop. No.
Tanika, ready? We've come to the end of another Tanika Insurance Brokers. Sherda told think about me. Ready?
This week on The Good Life, we visit the pain clinic where one Oriental doctor has used his experience with pain to develop a well-integrated approach to help his patients. Back pain, knee pain, anyone? Stick with us. Before we get into the thick of things, what is pain?
Pain is physical suffering or discomfort that arises because of injury or trauma or illness. And it is something that is multifactorial. There are a number of different things that contribute to pain. I mean, specifically say joint pain is one of the most common things that people come to see us for. Say arthritis or trauma of neck and back and joint pain. And it really happens if you think of it because joints are slow tissues, they don't get much blood supply. And so once they're injured, they don't tend to get better very easily. So things like aging and wear and tear, or traumas and accidents and falls, or, as we know, all of our little illnesses that have happened recently, the viruses like chickpea and Zika and so on, they all dengue, West Nile virus, they all target joints and damage them and make them hurt even more. And so joints are a really good example of what happens to us really as we get older. So basically, we need to be getting older less quickly. We need to help these tissues to recover, not just to treat the pain, but to actually help to speed healing. So it's not just that your back is hurting you, but your back needs to get better. So we not just treat the pain, but we treat the underlying causes of injury to tissues over time, which makes the multimodal approach of a place like the pain clinic what is happening in the world now in effective treatment of pain.
talk to me about how you got started. Why did you decide to, open up the pain clinic?
Well, I grew up in the country in Jamaica here, and we all always used natural things. It was always important to have, plenty exercise and to run around and drink clean water and breathe fresh air and have healthy diet. And my mother was one of my great inspirations. She was always very interested in a healthy life. So being aware, being mindful of everything that you do, your diet, exercise, and everything. So I was always a vegetarian from young in life and always very athletic and interested in a lot of sports. And I always enjoyed adventure sports, like outdoor sports and then rock climbing, mountaineering, all of these things that usually involve injuries, and usually the injuries are pretty bad. So I actually hyperextended, I broke my back, as it were. So I was twisted my back all the way to the front and had a very, very serious spinal injury when I was in my teenage years, about 17 or 18. And so that took me years to recover from. I mean, I was on medications, spinal adjustment, physical therapy, and ongoing medication as well. This is something that I was in a lot of pain for many years, but I was very active on everything and decided that I'm going to get better. About 8 years later, an avalanche hit me. So I actually had another very severe injury involving twisting my body all around, damaging my joints severely and so on. And I was actually becoming a clinical psychologist. That was the first degree that I studied. And in my last year then, I had this horrible accident. And a friend of mine said, you should try acupuncture. It's a thing that really has helped me to recover from my back injury. I tried it and it actually was amazingly effective. It was a thing that made more of a difference than anything else did. And I realized that I was doing all of the 3 M's of physical therapy before, the massage to relax the muscles, mobilization, which is the physiotherapy that we think of, stretching and strengthening exercises, and then manipulation, which are adjustments of joints like chiropractic, like Dorn methods and Schroth, German methods, your Asian methods, your manipulating your spine is important also. So I was doing all of the things you needed to reduce stress on your body, or reduce, the damage that's ongoing, but nothing to actually help it get better. And so the acupuncture part is the fascinating part that actually increases tissue performance so you can get better. In Asia, for thousands of years, people couldn't replace their hip or their knee. They had to get better. And so the performance of your tissues had to increase. And so that is why a fifth of the world's population uses acupuncture on a regular basis, because it will allow your body to heal and allow everything to increase its quality of functioning. Everything will work better and specific injuries will get better more quickly. Another fifth of the world's population uses turmeric and ginger and anti-inflammatory herbs. So again, we have a regular use of things that help to keep our quality of health better. Everything requires an increase in performance. So personally, it was amazing, the recovery that I made. And I had been suffering really with pain for almost a decade now. And that inspired me really to continue to study. Largely because my doctor said then, I think you should study, because given your track record, you're probably going to mash up yourself again. And so why not, learn a little more about it. So then it became, again, I studied then naturopathic medicine and then oriental medicine, which have complete approaches. So they're not these isolated approaches of one therapy. One therapy is not likely to ever help you very much, but using all of the therapies together in a meaningful way allows you not just to feel better, but actually to get better. And so that then became the model on which the pain clinic was founded.
My name is Beverly Newman, and I've been coming to Dr. Becker's pain clinic for several years, maybe as long as 10 years. And I can certainly recommend it to anyone who is having pain problems or problems with depression, and many other medical problems. My problem is mainly with my back. I started off with having terrible pain going down my leg, and I reached a stage where the doctors told me that I would have to be in a wheelchair or have surgery. So I had surgery, and it was successful. I can walk, but now that I'm getting older, I have a lot of pain in my lower back, and Dr. Becker is able to help me with that. He also has a lot of his own herbal preparations, which are excellent. I get the one for pain, which has a lot of cayenne pepper in it. And I get my back rubbed every night, and I certainly can recommend it. I come for acupuncture, and I try to come once a week. I'd love to come more often, but it's just it's just too expensive. But once a week is a real big help.
I'm Kenneth Newman, and my wife has encouraged me to come for treatments, and she has found it very helpful over a period of, as she said, probably exceeding 8 years. And I have about one treatment per month, unless of course I feel the need for it. My problem is not so much pain as, you know, the stresses and strains of business life. And it's very relaxing, and I feel invigorated once you get a treatment. And I would really love to come more often, but of course, you know, we have to be moderate. I also am convinced that the herbal preparations are useful. I feel quite satisfied that, especially my wife, who has had a lot of problems, health problems, has certainly benefited from the treatments she's been getting.
I'm 36. I'm a husband, a manager, and still very good looking. In 2 hours, I have the most important meeting of my life. But first, it's time to play. The new Suzuki Vitara.
There's only one recommendation for funding that is ever going to come from me, and that is funding from a bank.
This is the cost to build, and it includes every nail and screw for the building.
Our motto is building communities, building a nation.
Get in the know with the world of real estate with Business Access TV's Home Sweet Home, Sundays at 4:30 p.m.
Ready for cable for as little as $100? Ready for no monthly cable bill? Ready for 10 TV channels absolutely free? Then pick up our Ready TV box at authorized stores for $4,500. Hook it up to your TV set, then top it up with Ready Credit for 1, 7, or 30 days. Buy now and get $1,000 free Ready Credit and start watching your favorite shows. Pick it up, hook it up, top it up. Ready TV. Prepaid cable TV when you're ready. Now serving Kingston and St. Catherine. Limited time offer while stocks last. Conditions apply.
Welcome back to The Good Life. So I've had a hectic week, up and down, shooting all week. What do you recommend?
Again, effective treatment of pain is something that is, what we've learned is, needs to be multimodal. Because pain is this multifactorial thing, all these different things contribute to pain, from aging and wear and tear to traumas or falls or heavy days, psychological stress, physical stress. And so we need to have multimodal treatment. We need to have all of the things that work, not just 1 or 2 treatments. Again, this is what effective treatment is all about, and which is why the pain clinic's approach and our model is really what the industry's leading model is right now. So most people, for example, with your long and busy days, have a lot of neck and back pain and tension, right? So that's something that we would do, first of all, for example, massage to relax the muscles in the area. And there are very intensive massage techniques and soft tissue techniques that are, say, deep tissue sculpting or myofascial release and so on, that are very intensive massages that don't hurt but are very intensive. Something like acupuncture will come along as well too, to help to increase tissue performance, to speed healing and relax you and bring more blood supply to the tissues. So then the stretching and strengthening exercises come along. And then spinal line alignment also plays an important role. With muscles pulling on the vertebrae are pulled out of proper alignment. So they're twisted or rotated out of proper alignment. And so, yes, we can get started. Right, okay. So typically when we start off with relaxing your muscles, right? So lying down on a heating pad like this helps your muscles to relax. We also do the deep tissue massage segment. So we work on your back, upper back and neck, and then deeply relax and release muscles throughout your body. Right? Again, that's important because all of your body is connected. It's not just that your neck and upper back are hurting. Neck and upper back function together with your back. Your body transfers force in triangles. This point might not wipe it, okay? There we go. So we clean our areas that we're going to use. We want to increase blood supply. So we do some points that are deeply relaxing, which is what the point in the forehead does. It relaxes muscles in and around your scalp and face, which is a big part of where we all accumulate muscle tension. So if I can relax, again, the most important parts of your body, then all of your body will follow. Acupuncture is a 3-year to 5-year course of study. It's something that is extremely precise, and this formula actually is one of the most ancient formulas. You know, acupuncture is called the secret of kings, princes, and warlords to sire 100 sons. You know, the idea is again to increase tissue performance. This is something that is deeply relaxing. The needles are thinner than a hair; you really don't feel them, but they are deeply relaxing. Your body immediately responds to them because they're a foreign object that's past your body's defenses. Okay, so as we look at, as part of our treatments, we always do step by step moving through the different treatments, right? And you do either with me or other therapists, and we work together. Now, if you notice here, so we would have done our massage part already, right? So now we want to do, having relaxed the muscles and also brought more blood supply to the tendons and joints and ligaments, everything becomes more elastic, so everything moves more freely and with less pain, right? So we want to then move on to our physical therapy and our adjustment routine. Now, if we press and notice, I'm just checking out here and palpating, getting a feeling for what the tissues are like. And I notice that this tendon is desiccated, it's dried and strained basically. Sounds terrible, huh? From usually too much muscle tension. So if your muscles are too tight too much of the time, they're pulling on the tendons, right? And things that are, you know, if you pull, it'll flatten it out and it'll lose a lot of its lubrication, as it were, as blood from the tissue, and it desiccates, it dries, and dry things tear more easily than wet things, right, which tend to stretch more easily. So we want to relax these muscles here, right? If we don't relax the muscles and we adjust you'll just pull it right back out again. It's usually because the muscles are so tight that something gets pulled out of alignment, right? So we need to not just align you and send you home, then it's just going to fall out again. That's wasting your time. And we need to deeply relax everything and help to make sure that you follow up on the alignment with stretching exercises that reduce that muscle tension, and so it doesn't build up and pull it right back out again, right? So we want to stretch you like a clock. And we're going to stretch these long muscles and these diagonal ones, your levator scapular muscles. This is the one that's hurt more for you, and then your traps on top. So like a clock, you lean over, there we go, and push gently and relax and let it fall. And we do that usually 4 times and then hold it for 2 breaths. And then like a clock, we move from 9 o'clock to 10:30. So you move from one position to the next like a clock. Then you push up and release. There we go. Felt that release? That's what we want there. And relax down. if a joint is hurt, we don't want to rough it up. We need to move it gently. And always use that PNF related stretch, the push, release, push, release, push, release. So it ratchets down, you know? So again, if we would do, let's do this corner here, which is the most important one for you. You start at your maximum, you never force it. Stretching works, but it doesn't last. Like a rubber band, if I stretch you and let you go, you're back where you started. But if I trick the Golgi organ in the tendon into releasing the muscle actually got longer. We didn't stretch it, or we did stretch it, but it stayed stretched. Push, and then relax, and let it fall. There we go. Felt that release? And push, and release. And push, and release. And just release. And always rotate back to the 12 o'clock. So you release all of these muscle groups, and then you use one that you did not really release, right? To lift your head back up, so we preserve the elongation of all of these muscles. One is frequency. You need to do them regularly throughout every day in order to really get better, right? Not just feel better, but really get better. And then compliance. No matter how good it is, if you don't do it, it won't work. And so these new routines are very short and simple. Anybody can learn them in just a few minutes. We have nice handouts for them as well too. You're good to stick up and help you to remember.
So Dr. Becker, what about joint pain? You know, people have arthritis, and I can't really think of any other joint pain.
Now, joint pain is again one of these things that is multifactorial. The same things we talked about a while ago. The three main things that contribute are aging, wear and tear, so use and heavier use, say with athletes, for example, or with people getting older, like all of us, right? Then trauma, accidents and falls and so on, or you know, an impact, high impact sport like football, for example, or tennis, right? And so it's repeated injury over time. Or infections like CHIKV and Zika and dengue and West Nile virus and all of this. All of these things damage your joints and wear them away. So if you were sitting for 45 minutes or more, or standing, for example, you will have lost a lot of your joint volume because you weren't moving a lot, right? And so you want to wake them up again. So you want to gently move your knees. So 1/3, say. So small movement. And then a bigger movement, 2/3, a few times. And then the biggest movement that you can make without pain 3 times, straightening the legs but not locking them.
Okay.
So 3 times, and then go back to little movements. Now these small movements gently activate, say bring more blood supply, synovial fluid, everything into your joints. You'll hear them crack and pop sometimes. And that's because their volume is increasing, but gently, not by some dramatic technique, right?
Yeah.
Gently increasing the volume of the joints so that they work better and feel better and are capable now of accepting your body weight when you stand up.
Right.
So if you notice, this is what children do when they sit down. They're swinging their legs. That's so they are maintaining the volume of the joint so that they can get up and go.
So Dr. Becker, if the routines are so quick and easy, why aren't more people, you know, practicing them?
Well, again, if we look at systems of healthcare, so our healthcare system has really become a sick care system. You don't go to the doctor when you're sick, right? In these ancient systems, they needed healthcare. They needed people to stay healthy because they didn't have surgery the way we have them, or pharmaceutical drugs to help them when they were really badly hurt. You had to stay healthy. And so our systems now, healthcare systems in the world, in Europe, for example, you know, have noticed this and are incorporating a lot more of these techniques so that you can have them every day, have access to them every day. Doing these simple exercises reduce muscle tension, reduce stress, keep your joints healthy and pain-free and functioning well, and they're so simple that, of course, everybody should be doing them. All doctors should be recommending them. But again, you know, pharmaceutical companies write our textbooks. And you have all these little tools that you can use repeatedly throughout the day, like you doing all of your standing and so on. Good to take a break, 2.5-minute break. And sit down, do range of motion for your ankles, which go in a circle, your knees, which go back and forth, your hips, which go in and out, right? And then we can cross over the leg and stretch your back. It's something that these gentle twisting exercises can sometimes crack your back and so on, but that's not desired actually. What's desired is to increase the range of motion of the joint and to do it gently so that you actually increase it in a way that you can maintain. So again, we keep you healthier throughout the day.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
Have you seen it? It's BATV Live. Live streams of business news weekdays at 7:30 p.m. Stay on point Thursdays at 8 p.m. with our Business Current Affairs show and Weekend Business Report Saturdays at 7:30 p.m. wherever you are. Log on to our Facebook page at Business Access TV or visit our website at batvja.com. Live and at your fingertips. Business Access TV. Serious about business.
Career Moves has always explored interesting careers, highlighting all you may not have known about them. This season is no different.
Coming back to Jamaica, everyone's like, fizzy what? Fizzy who?
When you find a bright boy or girl in the class and people say, what are you going to be? The parents will say, you have to go be a doctor, you have to go be a lawyer. Nobody says you have to go be a politician.
Let me see your hands!
Tune in Tuesdays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
So we're wrapping up our day here at the pain clinic. I did my joint alignment, my stretching exercises, and of course acupuncture. But Dr. Becker, what else does the pain clinic offer that makes it so special?
The pain clinic's model is actually now an industry-leading model. This is the most modern approach that we have, the most effective by far approach that we have to treating pain. And it actually is interesting because it comes out of one of the most ancient approaches. And so we are all getting older and needing to do all of these things more and more now. And so it is much more effective, if you can learn to do as much as you can. So you can come somewhere that in one place doesn't just give you one treatment. In one place we give you all of the treatments that you need from right along, from nutrition. So we assess your nutrition, your dietary recommendations, your dietary needs. We have supplementation that we talk about as well. We evaluate you as far as medical health or so on. We have doctors that work with us too, right? That are regular medical doctors and surgeons, right? So no matter what kind of care you need, the pain clinic has everything for you in one place so that you have a completely well-integrated program that is tailored exactly to your needs. So all of the therapies are available here in a way that we can tailor it to exactly what you need in one place. So, we also have, for example, a line of herbal products called Dr. Bird Herbals. That includes, organic Jamaican herbs that are grown with the highest quality and processed in our manufacturing facility. This is something that gives our Jamaican herbs, which are absolutely fantastic in quality, a lot more effectiveness because we are again using a concentrated extraction process that makes the formulas extremely effective. And we have a wide variety of formulas. You can have a look at our products again on our website. It's drheinzbecker.com, DOCTORHEINZ, Becker, BECKER, or thepainclinicjamaica.com, or drbirdherbals.com, DOCTOR. And now with all of the research supporting things like turmeric, things like cerci, cinnamon, there are so many things, or cheney root, or anti-inflammatories. People need to use them more. Go to Jamaica and export them. Hello.
We went through a variety of treatment options. What about pricing? I think a lot of people are concerned these days about cost.
Yeah. Well, again, we have a range of costs depending on the treatments, and we always try to fit in as many treatments as possible into one session so that you don't have to do repeated treatments. So treatments range from, say, 4, 5, 5, 5 upwards and so on and around there. And so it depends really on what it is that you need. But again, we always have plans for athletes, for students, for seniors, so on, so that our services are affordable to everyone. Because it is, again, what the pain clinic is all about. I had my terrible accidents when I was younger, and I've learned a lot of what it is that you actually need to not just feel less pain, but actually to get better. And so that's something that we always teach, incorporate into your treatments, so that you go home right away knowing what to do. With that, you get better and better and more independent and better able to take care, of your body. So not just get better, but have a healthier and happier life.
So let's say I wanted to make an appointment. How do I go about doing that?
Well, again, you can you can look us up in the phone book, right? So you can look up Dr. Heinz Becker. You can look up in Natural Health and Medicine. We're there. The Pain Clinic is there, and so on. On the website again, thepainclinicjamaica.com.
come, but it doesn't have to stay. The Pain Clinic is the perfect place to try all natural methods to relieve discomfort. Until next week, you've been watching The Good Life, and I've been your host, Amita Prasad Webb.
They say it takes a village to raise a child, but the world will one day need the leadership of that child. The time you spend with your child matters. It stimulates their minds and shapes the way they act. Talk with your children. Help them to better understand the world around them and to value what is truly precious. Above all, the most valuable gift you can give them is love. Play, talk, teach, love. Take the time. It makes all the difference. A message from the Parenting Helpline and Ad Council Jamaica.
The business community has suffered tremendously due to extortion. Some have not just lost their businesses, their jobs, but lost their lives. This is extremely impactful to the growth of our country and to the progress of our people. We are our brother's keeper. Let's put a stop to this. No more use of force. No more use of fear. No more extortion. No more.
We are back with another exciting, innovative, and inspiring season.
It takes a lot of stick-to-itiveness, being consistent and persistent in whatever you're doing. That's the bottom line.
Business exists to add value to people's lives. And if we're not doing that, might as well we lock down the store and just call it a day.
It's a season 3 of Creating Wealth, Mondays at 8 p.m. on Business Access TV.
Your business matters. Business Access TV offers you the most innovative and effective advertising solution for your business, specializing in B2B sales, cost-effective solutions, the customers you want, the repetition you need. No matter the size and nature of your company, your business matters.
Call us at 876-291-6233 or 876-376-4225. Email sales@batvja.com.
My name is Christelle Harris. You're watching Business Access TV. Serious about business.
You're watching Business Access TV.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
Business Access.
You are watching Business Access TV.
Business Access TV.
Serious about business.
Serious about business.
Hello and welcome to Business Access Television's coverage of the Business Breakfast for the upcoming publication of the business year 2019, the Jamaica issue. I'm Keneal Gale. We are here at the Hard Rock Cafe in Montego Bay, where business leaders and the movers and shakers from the second city are gathered. So let's go inside, mingle a bit, and then hit the stage.
So we are delighted to have you to participate and share in our second edition of the Business Year Breakfast in Mobay. So that many of you, we know, have traveled long distances to be here, and it serves as a reminder to us all just how important our work is. So as a natural lover and a big traveler, I truly think that Jamaica is one of the most beautiful places in the world. And what I can say is that I am proud to live, experience, and work in Jamaica, and I promised to myself that I would portray Jamaica as best as it deserves, and foremost to showcase to the world what is the special island has to offer. So on behalf of the business year, I sincerely thank and acknowledge every one of you extended help to us for making this event a grand success. So first of all, Hard Rock Cafe. So Andre Dixon, thank you. Mr. Fausto Solano, our esteemed partner, Mrs. Diane Edwards from Jampro, and the overall team, a Jampro team that supported us since the very beginning, since 2017 when we arrived. And thanks to the help and their support, we are here in Jamaica and we can conduct our research. I also sincerely thank Mayor Omer Davis of Montego Bay, Mr. Douglas K. Gordon, founder of Canex, Mr. Watson Lawson, the president of Chamber as well, Mrs. Caroline Fisher, Mrs. Tishura Gibbs, Mr. Robin Russell, general manager of Deja Resorts, Mr. Juan Manuel Merilla, my country editor. So thank you for all of you for your support since the beginning. Sorry. And you, my dear guests, leaders of the country that are leading not only Montego Bay, but Jamaica to the future, I thank you and welcome you. So we stand for bringing Jamaicans together and making Jamaica a better place, a more unified and a more connected place. So most of us already know who we are and our role. However, for the new faces today, let me tell you what TBY is. So TBY is a global media group specialized in economic news and research on national economies and business intelligence. So we have operations in over 35 countries. Our head office is based in London. We have regional offices in Istanbul, in Dubai, Abu Dhabi, and Mexico City. And we have a strong presence already in Latin America. So the way we carry out our research is that we meet face-to-face with the community of leaders, and we stay for an average of 6-8 months in the country to meet with the most strategic leaders and most prominent figures of the country from the main and most important companies, as well as the governmental officials from the public sector. So over 70% of our publication consists of interviews, so that we provide the most accurate and up-to-date perspectives from the experts themselves. So as some of you know, the business year arrived in 2017 for the first time in Jamaica. And we have been invited by the Jamaican Promotion Corporation to compile a comprehensive research on the economy of Jamaica, combining our international expertise with their local experience. So following the success of the first edition of the Business Year Jamaica, we just renewed the MOU with Jampro to continue our research and compile the second editions on Jamaican's economy. So our final goal is to create an annual publication about the economy of the country. Thus, our unique platform represents a who's who of the decision makers of the country. And the publication recirculates locally in the region, but also abroad. On the businessyear.com as well, and since 2018, we have a partnership with Thomson Reuters Icon, Bloomberg Terminal, and Dungeons Factiva. So today, we are all together because we need your full cooperation and support to truly reach the stage where we can have prosperity for all. So we know that Jamaicans, people want to tell stories that are wrapped in their own textures, language, and humanity. So we are here to use our platform to change the global perception and narrative surrounding Jamaica to truly reflect the economic potential of the city and the island, and further highlight the vibrant and dynamic local leaders, such as yourself, that are moving Jamaica forward.
I am very happy to be here this morning on behalf of the Montego Bay Chamber of Commerce, because this breakfast launch is for us another opportunity to carry out what we believe is one of our natural duties, indeed obligations, as a chamber, that being support and aggressive marketing of this space that's otherwise known as the tourism capital of Jamaica. We recognize this is another grand opportunity, not just because what you will learn or have learned about the reach and the capabilities of the TBY. But this is a place where we have been before. That is to say, only last year the Chamber connected with TBY, and the results commencing with the showcasing at the Jamaica Investment Forum last year spoke volumes. In fact, yes, as Aska said, they officially launched their first publication, the TBY Jamaica, at the forum in partnership with JAMPRO. So let me also recognize the TBY for one, the interest it has taken in Jamaica and the excellent way in which it had delivered on marketing this space and all the great products and services available. You know, I will admit, ladies and gentlemen, that I'm also very happy for the opportunity this morning for selfish reasons. Yes, selfish reasons. Because I've recognized that this partnership, this renewed connection, sits very well with three overarching strategic initiatives for my administration. Indeed, the 10-point strategic plan for which this administration was mandated to execute on are all within the areas, namely member centricity, modernization, and advocacy. Member centricity, here we want to zero in directly on our membership, on how we can facilitate direct benefits. We had and we still have in mind the sweet deal access, which we are now referring to as the member-to-member discount program. And I encourage all our members to sign on and don't be left out of this pool. We are seeing to the delivery of worthwhile, cost-effective training programs to benefit the members and their staff. This, we know, will have direct benefits in sharpening a critical asset for most, if not all, businesses. And I'm referring to human resources. And I want to recognize Dollar Financial for the sponsorship of our first training program. We expect to arrange a second one in November with a focus on digital marketing. And again, we encourage our members to use the opportunity provided by the Chamber. Member centricity is also about improving networking opportunities and improved flow and regularity of communications amongst our members. That's also being done through our monthly meetings, which we have also now added a new twist of getting these away from the Chamber office facilities, but to different venues across this wonderful city. Hello, Pier 1. The TBY Jamaica connection gels with this mandate of member centricity, as what is top of mind for us is our membership being able to reap the benefits, those who decide to utilize the services of TBY, they should reap the benefits from the tremendous reach and capabilities for which TBY Jamaica offers.
We take our first break here on Business Access Television's coverage of the launch of the business year. We are in Montego Bay, and when we come back, we will hear from the mayor of Montego Bay, Homer Davis.
Business Advisory. Realize greater growth and profitability. Navigating market changes can be challenging for any business. Our goal is to help you identify opportunities at any stage of your financial life cycle. ensuring you continue to meet your business needs in complex market environments. From startup through to expansion, tax advisory to accounting, Dodge & Global provides a multidisciplinary approach to managing the entirety of your affairs. We ensure your business remains profitable and competitive. You can expect practical advice, effective cost management, and a mutual respect for your goals and growth aspirations. Our commercial advice comes from extensive knowledge and experience working with a broad range of business and industry sectors.